Good morning to you, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Biko, good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Draw close to your microphone. Okay. I think there's a challenge with my mic. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, let's go. I'll figure it out.
No way. Okay.
Yes, your paper.
Yes. As you okay. So okay, I'm sure you can hear me. So yes. Now you were talking about the suspected arson attack. You see, it's not about what is even stored in this particular school. It's about the fact that a school has been reportedly or allegedly touched. And this looks like a remnant of what happened last Saturday, the elections and the controversies thereafter. You see, it looks like we've had a very peaceful presidential elections. Very peaceful presidential elections. The one that is giving us problem is the parliamentary. And it's always been like that. It's like a convention. Look at Ichiman South. Look at Ablekuma Central. Look at our by-elections. For the presidential, by and large, peacefully. But it's the parliamentary that gives us the headache. Unfortunately, this time around, it doesn't look like we'll be able to handle it properly. Many people, of course, the NDC has gone to court to injunct EC, but it doesn't look like people want to generally resort to the courts. Yeah. And the phrase that elections are won at the polling stations doesn't seem to hold true this time around. So it looks like now it's more or less of the calculations at the collation center rather than what happened at the polling station. But if indeed it's true that all parties are supposed to have copies of their pink seats, then why are we here? We shouldn't be here. EC, full complement of his pink sheet. NDC, full complement of pink sheet. MPP, same. Yeah, Cheddar and Co, they might not have it. But that they are not even the problem. But you see, we sat here, we said it. It's just because we don't want to be truthful. At least out of these three, one or two don't want to be truthful. So here we are. Let's see how that plays out. But unfortunately, it's getting to the extreme. If this suspicion is anything to go by, then it's a no. Touching, so what? Like what? Once you burn the ballot papers, then what? There will not be any room for accountability relative to how the elections went. Anyway, Ghanaian Times.
But IB, also, when election materials are security materials, and it will be foolhardy on anybody's part to think that there won't be any security presence there. So I want to understand the kind of arrangement that was put in place, if indeed they were storing ballot papers and ballot boxes there. But for somebody to go, if the reports about arson are correct, then I think people should also answer. Yeah.
No, there's a reason why the ballot boxes for Weja Bawi, right, were transported to the police headquarters.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows that the elections in Okankwe, Ablekuma, are in dispute.
Mm-hmm.
Why store those ballot materials in a school?
Yeah. And if you are going to do that, you need to ensure that there is adequate security for the ballot boxes that you are keeping there.
Let's hope that the ballot boxes were not there when the fire was set to the place. Let's hope that that's what it is, that it was sent, it's been transported to the headquarters, so that's where it has been, and it was never taken back. Because if it's still there and this arson happened, that would be very unfortunate. And to the citizenry, see, there will be disagreements, but then there are avenues for seeking redress. Let's resort to those and stop this act of taking the laws into our own hands. It's becoming, I think it's such an embarrassment that we go through the election process and it is smooth, you would hardly hear any commotion in relation to the voting itself.
Yeah.
However, when the voting ends and you are expecting that cool heads will prevail because you have sailed through one of the crucial parts, people going out to cast their ballots. Now we are counting, we are collating. Why is it that now the problem is centered over there? Why?
Good question. Good question.
Well, the Daily Graphic newspaper front page, yesterday in Parliament, majority and minority tussle over $350 million tax waiver. So, okay, their argument is that some of these things should be left to the future administration, because if you are giving them these tax waivers, it's not going to take effect in 2024. It will take effect in 2025, and they will not be in government at the time. And that could have some impact in relation to the future government's source of revenue. So
not just that. There's also a World Bank facility of $250 million. And then there is the Navy ships, 2 of them.
For 140 million euros.
Yes, that we go to buy. And the NDC MPs, through their leader, Dr. Kesela Tofosen, said, no, there's an incoming administration, right? Let it come, evaluate and assess, and then make these decisions based on the full complement of information relative to these particular deals. Dr. Dominic Nitiu, I just gave him a PhD, the defense minister, said, Ghana is not allowed to go for any loan from the commercial market because of the IMF program that we are under. But because of how important it is for these equipment to be procured, the IMF decided to give Ghana permission to access the facility and then purchase the equipment from
France.
French. Yeah. So he's saying that if the IMF will allow the incoming administration to go for the loan, why not? Yes, but I think the IMF cannot say that we give the outgoing administration the permission to go for this commercial loan to purchase these equipment. But the incoming administration that has actually hinted that it's actually going to renegotiate the deal will not be given the permission to. And so, yes, I think these are the things that we must put in our Transition Act. And I've said this time with that number. Do not leave things to discretion. Because yesterday, the argument of Osei Mensah-Bonsu as minority leader was played back to him in 2016.
The RTI. Yes, remember the RTI?
Yes, RTI and many other things.
Yes.
That were frozen because the administration was checking out. In fact, the RTI was almost done.
Yes.
It was just at the stage that the Environmental Protection Authority bill is out now. It's just at the third reading. That one, I hope common sense prevails. Because at the point, it became like, okay, then let's destroy everything. And it was led by Dr. Matubuku Prempe, who said that if you are picking and choosing as to what is important, then let's just do the expenditure in advance of appropriation.
Yes.
And then let's just close shop. But the way he spoke is like, okay, if you guys don't want to do what we want to do, then let's leave everything to the people who are coming to implement and go on Kete. And I'm quoting him, right? And I felt, no. Speaker had actually settled on 4 things that he feels should be done. The EPA bill, as I mentioned, the expenditure in advance of appropriation is there. And there are 2 bills for Parliament. And those bills, when passed, are supposed to streamline the activities of Parliament, right? Including when a speaker is even sworn in. There's a proposal that a speaker should be sworn in a day before January 7th.
Yeah.
So we don't have the dignitaries waiting like happened in 2020 before the president is then sworn in by the speaker. And so I think these are good proposals. And so he feels these things must be done. Look at the lithium agreement, for instance. CSOs had raised concerns about lack of excessive consultation or thorough consultation. Parliament had then decided to allow them to appear before a number of committees put together, a joint committee. Because of happenings in Parliament, the committee sat for just one day. And so, if you are to ratify this agreement for the new administration to implement,
you didn't address the concerns of the various years if they had only one day to sit.
Exactly. I feel for the investors. Trust me, I feel for the investors. Right? That see, you might have to do everything again, but that's what democracy brings to the table. In the end, it's the country's interest that must be paramount and must be protected. The same with the Nyinahini bauxite, the same full circle 360. We've got to come back.
Same script.
That agreement has not been ratified, right? So it is what it is.
Other stories on the front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper. President-elect Mahama outlines top priorities. Kitasco concerned about Category B classification. Mariam Bona named 2024 Best Nurse and Midwife. And back page, Daily Graphic, back page, Light the World Christmas Initiative. Church of Jesus Christ supports over 1,000 households. Let me find the story on page 13, the one on the top priorities of the president-elect. Let's see whether
you feature.
No. Whether it fits into the many choruses in town. So, President-elect John Dramani Mahama has outlined his top priorities upon assuming office on January 7. High on the agenda will be the work of the Constitutional Review Committee's report. Okay, that is very crucial to the entire country. There are a lot of things that we need to, breathe into the life of our Constitution when we say that it is a living document. Yeah. It's very important that we do so. So it's good that this is high on this agenda. He's also highlighted the need to address the Boko conflict, very important, which has been fueled by border attacks. And he's quoted as saying, Boko is particularly an area to look at because of border attacks. As soon as quickly, we will tackle the Boko issues head on. Nobody benefits from conflict. So at least we know the first two, Boko and then Constitutional Review and then Boko. Those are the first two. Grab a copy and then you can read. He made these pronouncements when the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council (GPCC) met him and other political parties. Yes, Hassan Ayariga was also there.
He says the NDC didn't win based on only its campaign. There was what you call opposition campaign. Okay. And we were all campaigning against one entity, and the receiving entity is the government in power. Absolutely. So it's a collective victory.
Yeah, I think the president-elect said something about how, they would have to take some tough decisions, which may be uncomfortable, but it will. Yeah. It is for the good of the country, and he believes that this second opportunity has been given is for him to leave a legacy, and so for him that will be his focus. I like what he's saying at the moment. Yeah. I really do hope that it is not short-lived, because we have seen many of these. I remember vividly when the president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he said that he's going to put his presidency on the line. And whenever I go back to listen to that speech, and the determination in the voice of the president, wanting to, cause change and change the status quo, is very different from when I hear his voice now, So,
but the president explained what he meant by putting his presidency on the line, that he was willing to frontally fight Galamsey. Damn the consequences.
Unfortunately, he didn't.
No, you guys were the consequences, right? So, could the president have voted himself out? You get a point. Yeah, the president couldn't have voted himself out. So,
no, Allah.
Okay, so the Guardian Times this morning. We will not approve tax waivers loans. It will be a burden on public purse. Minority leader. Please grab alleged murderer of Okada rider at Gomua, France. Yes, that is people in this day and age, right? In Ghana today, in an attempt to steal motorbike, people actually commit murder.
Eh?
Oh yeah.
Motorbike,
yeah. people that can actually kill a motorbike rider because they want to take it away from him. Hey. By the way, that's even a threat. People actually draw knives on you and ask for your phone.
Yeah.
And if you struggle with them, they might stab you. So, 2024 election triumph. It's a legacy term. I'll give up my best, JM assures. And now you're talking about, he's saying that we'll have to make some tough decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the incoming president will have to explain to me. When I saw the story yesterday, I was wondering, okay, so which people will be at the receiving end? You and I, or the outgoing appointees? Because when I saw the tough decision, I thought like, okay, tough decision against probably the outgoing appointees, right, or the outgoing administration.
I think
or
it's
tough
across,
decision that we will be at the receiving end.
It goes across, because you see,
we all have to tighten our belts.
One of the things
we've tightened our belts since
we have to do it one more time.
One thing he said, I think during the Thanksgiving service was his acceptance, right? I think his acceptance.
I know that's
where he was saying that we as a people also have to check our attitudes. That is crucial, because if you want the best for the country and your attitudes are the same, we may not reach anywhere.
We didn't take that commentary from this administration.
Yes, it's always been there.
Yeah, we didn't take that commentary from this administration.
Oh no, but changing attitude is very important.
I'm coming. Ghanaians being difficult to govern, or sanitation being an attitudinal problem. The president said that outside. We dealt with him. I remember on this platform, we dealt with the president that, Mr. President, we do what is inspected, not what is expected. We have the laws, implement them, enforce them. That conversation will not change. Yes, I agree that attitude will have to change, but then there are laws to ensure that attitudes change, enforce them. That's
but
the point.
You admit that there are attitudes.
I get you, but then there are laws to deal with the attitude. Enforce the laws. That's why we put you in power. No, once you enforce the laws will change our attitude. So, for instance, there's a law that don't spit in public, right?
So
and my attitude is that I spit in public. Enforce the law to ensure that I don't spit in public.
So when he says that the decisions will be tough.
No, I get that.
And, for instance, it applies to your attitude, and people are being sent to court. No one should come and complain. So basically, that's
I'm
it.
on force with you on that.
So
what I'm saying is that the conversation. Because I remember the president saying he will make Accra the cleanest city, right?
Yes.
And then comes back, he goes outside and says that it's an attitudinal problem.
No, but did you see efforts on the part of the president?
And then we called him out.
No, but there were no efforts.
No, I get that. I get that. That's why we called him out.
And we are still here.
Yeah.
If there had been efforts,
then we would have recognized
and then the president cited attitudinal, we would have understood. In this case, there were no efforts at all. So, with this one,
this guy made effort.
Henry Cote made effort.
At the point, market women were fighting him.
Yeah. And two people were fighting him.
But that's also effort.
That's his second administration.
Yeah.
Remember, second term.
Yeah.
First term, and then Tisi Adapa told us that, in fact, 4 years was not enough.
Was not enough
that we should give them a second term. And in fact, Accra is that year.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the other headlines here. Investment opportunities in off-plan properties near KIA Enclave. So, and I've seen some high-rise buildings there. Airport City. They call it Airport City. The enclaves there.
I don't even understand. Our airport is too busy. The surroundings too busy.
Yeah.
Many of the developed countries,
you
don't see the airport so close to the city
because
like
it's
this.
A risk. It's a risk, yeah.
We are here building high-rise buildings and stuff.
We'll
no buffer.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So
what do I know?
One would have thought after that infamous accident where the bus collided with the plane, measures would have been taken to ensure. And anytime this thing pops up, we are told that there are plans to build an airport at Pram Pram. Yeah. Anytime this thing pops up, and trust me, if this thing gets the traction that it needs, Pram Pram will be mentioned again.
Interesting.
I'm done.
Are you done? World Fisheries Day. Oh, so how come is living with the key? The big one. No, but I think that must be handed over.
The key.
We can't allow the key.
They'll get
she actually went to church.
Speaking of which.
Yeah, she went to church.
Yes, and I loved her, her mood and everything that she gave off. And also in Parliament yesterday.
Yeah.
There were those who took their losses graciously.
Oh yeah,
there were those who were not in the mood for.
What is happening here?
There are those who were not in the mood for.
Oh, have you seen what's happening here?
Yeah, but let me tell you what happened. I think that must change though. And of course, as an executive for the Parliamentary Press Corps, I had my colleagues come to me and they were bloggers in Parliament yesterday. So the videos you seen are from actually bloggers. They put their phones in your face. So SLS reaction was to that. So a blogger just put the phone in her face like that, literally, right? Yeah, it's because of where sitting takes place. If it had been the conventional chamber, these things wouldn't have happened. Because for bloggers about Charlie.
What's going on here?
What's going on here? That's the point. What's going on here? It's supposed to be more or less like a controlled atmosphere.
And this is not to make it less, but I'm glad you mentioned bloggers. And I want to say that's not to make it less again. Look, I cringed when I heard ma'am. Journalists, we have to be very respectful.
Yeah, how can you
we have to be very
polite? It wasn't
polite.
mom, it said mommy.
Yes, can you imagine?
We have to be very polite. We have to be very respectful.
If you want to call her honorable, that's okay.
Okay.
But I think mommy, daddy,
we miss you. You
see, our relationship with the politicians, it's not a mommy daddy kind of relationship. So when we blur the lines and start referring to them as mommy daddy, those still keep treating us as children.
I think we'll have to take action today. We'll take action.
Yeah, so the press corps can deal with that.
Thanks for petitioning me. We'll take it up. That wants me to shout. We can hear me.
I'm not asking you to shout. You keep speaking away from the microphone.
Because I'm looking at the gentleman.
So then turn the microphone to face him. Then you can speak into it.
It's okay, mommy.
That's a good one. Okay.
I forgive the two of you.
10,038 products granted licenses under PLS. That's according to the FDA. You all know the heads are going to change, right? The Ghana Standards Authority, the Food and Drugs Authority, whichever authority you look at.
And the board
People have started recounting how they exited in 2016.
Yeah.
Have you heard Kojo Chumbuafo's account?
Exactly.
On how he left the Free Zones Authority.
The date he had with Yoko.
There was an announcement. In fact, people were on radio station telling him that he shouldn't go back to the office.
Yeah. No, but you see, if you are vocal, I'm sure that SLS defeat is a defeat of a monumental proportion because of who she was and the position she occupied. Same with Henry Kote. For instance, yesterday, Henry Kote was in Parliament. He spoke to us, talked about how the president had promised that he was going to hand over to whoever won. And he has done that. And the peace of the country is intact. Yes.
He's yet to.
So he takes his flowers, right? And many others who showed up. It was Carlos Aikra that wanted to speak. They said, me, you come and see what? He had checked out.
Way before.
Way before.
All right. Still in Parliament.
Yeah.
Look at these guys.
The majority leader, Honorable Afenyo Marke.
Yeah.
I mean, it's surprising his question to the minority and the incoming administration about where they are going to get the funds if they want to cut these taxes. But some of the taxes, his candidate also promised to scrap them.
Exactly.
So were they just telling us for votes, or it was something they really meant?
That's to prepare your mind for what's to come for the next 4 years from the opposition, right? Yeah. I've heard many people raise issues about some of these things, right? And for instance, he's the one campaigning for Bagwin to be maintained as a Speaker of Parliament, right? And he says, these people, you can't put anything past them. They can remove you. But
it's okay. He's not the one supposed to advise the NDC.
And yesterday, Gavin Kwame Abuja, basically, gave us an indication as to how the 9th Parliament will look like. He said the majority side could not even form a committee for a district assembly. You get that? And these are the jobs that he said, look at your side. Even you are still in government, but you cannot even get, because people came early and they left. Because what was there to do? They came, they registered their presence, and then they left. And he said the majority side could not even form an assembly committee. These jobs.
I heard the part where the speaker said, when there were, the conversations about whether there should be they should put the business to a debate. To a vote.
Yeah.
And Afenyo was saying that this is alien to them, and Alban Bagbin said that, sometimes he looks at his situation, and he's looking behind him. He doesn't have the numbers, and he doesn't want to embarrass him. So sometimes he should just, follow my lead, because I'm trying. I am trying to help
guiding
you. So yes, and indeed, if you looked at the majority side, their numbers were very limited.
Was a chip whip in Parliament, majority chip whip?
No, he has a battle to fight. He's fighting for his seat. And that's
the 9th Parliament issue. I mean, the 8th Parliament is still in session. Yeah.
Where the animal is tied to the tree. Is at the same location that the animal is free. How Saturday looks like. Sunday probably will look the same. Right? So the man is fighting for the next one. This one, no matter, even if it doesn't come from now till January 7th, he will take his ex gratia, right? That's the thing.
No, Allah.
Yeah. And that's what Napo said. Napo said they should just do the vote on account and then attend to the ex gratia matters.
How many days are they sitting?
They are expected to rise on Friday.
This Friday.
This Friday.
But why do our parliaments always wait till the last minute? I mean, put the issue of the majority-minority issue aside.
Yeah.
They always do that thing.
Yeah, it helps them.
So that it avoids scrutiny, Abi.
That's one. Two, there's never enough time to do things in parliament. So
there are days they come, they don't do anything.
Yeah,
really.
That's true. Because if government of the day doesn't have business, parliament, if it's just now, this parliament that we had, of course, it was pioneered by Professor Ero Makokwe, the private members' bills. That's what has kept largely the 7th and then the last part of the 7th parliament and then the entire tenure of the 8th parliament busy. Talk about the anti-LGBT stuff and what have you. Talk about the witches thing and what have you. It's mostly private members' bills that have kept the parliament occupied. Government of the day, COVID, then after that, we're shut out of the capital market. It's always been loans. Once this government was stopped from taking loans, there's nothing for the parliament to do.
So that's what our parliament approve loans.
Oh, yes.
I see.
Yeah, but they say they won't be rubber stamp.
Okay.
The NAF parliament will not be a rubber stamp.
Sweetness of the pudding is in the eating.
Yeah,
so
but there will be a stamp. As to whether it is rubber or not, it's up to the citizenry to determine.
To judge.
Yeah.
Okay,
so...
are you not done? Have you done the daily guide?
No.
Okay, then do the daily guide.
I was just looking at you. Anyway, Daily Guide newspaper. NDC sues EC over 5 constituencies outcome. 2 dead in Yinahin Kasotai clash. Also, President Akufo-Addo's statue vandalized. Police go after perpetrators. I believe you all saw the statement from the police. Also, those who did that, please let the statue remain as it is.
So, what is the meaning of that?
And
because what they have done is just a matter of time for the thing to just cheer.
Yeah, like.
So I spoke to the Western Region yesterday.
He said he was shocked, Abi.
Yeah.
No.
On the election.
The black magic. We have to bring that sound back.
Yeah, we'll play.
He said it's like black magic.
Yeah. He said he still doesn't believe that NDC won the Western Region.
Yeah, so he's in dreamland.
Yes.
So what do we call him? What's his English name?
He
doesn't have one, right?
Alice. No, if you are not Alice in the Wonderland, then you go out.
No. So say he's Kwabna Ocheda Komensa.
Yeah, he doesn't have English name.
And Kwabna in Wonderland.
Philip in Wonderland.
No.
Okay.
And then say what?
Alice's male version will be Alicia.
But you see, I'm still looking at the image of the vandalized statue of the president, and I'm beginning to think that look, it wasn't done by ordinary people. These are artisans. Because you see, an ordinary person will target the face, or this person knows exactly what, or they know what they were doing. Yeah. For which reason they did something to the leg, hoping that it will collapse by itself. I mean, these are not regular folks who went to vandalize the thing.
I think
I'm giving the police
the accounts we are getting, like they didn't go closer. They stood somewhere and then
catapult.
Yeah, or some
stone on concrete.
Me, I think it's a catapult the person used. The person was standing somewhere and then.
And that must be David's kind of.
We use concrete in
the concrete.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, you talk clay.
Copper.
Clay.
Copper.
It was clay.
It was clay.
Yeah. Clay that's dried, right?
Yeah.
And the wet one.
Oh no, I thought it's like bronze or something.
No.
What do you say it's
bronze?
But bronze is actually a material too.
No.
Oh no, bronze is a material.
But I'm saying it was painting.
Usually it's the painting that gives it that.
I'm coming. See. bronze is a material that can be used.
We know.
But the types of, but this one is not a bronze statue.
This one is clay.
This one
Now
is
they are
clay.
Now
using
you are
bronze to
talking. Aha, we are also educating
From
the
it,
public.
it looks like anyway.
It looks
But we
like-
just hope the perpetrators are found
it's not.
because we
This
can
is
also
not,
be in
it's
it.
not metal.
Yeah.
If it were metal, you will not, the damage will not look like this.
Yeah.
So this one is, like ceramic. You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So the person. I
Oh,
think
then-
it's a-
But why are you still insisting it was a catapult? It could have
no,
just been.
the person was standing at a distance because you see, if you are standing next to it, everybody will see the distraction. Unlike the guy who went to destroy the big sis at airports. No,
Yeah, the people have issues. So,
that
of
one.
all the things that can bother that individual, it was.
So
But the basic, did he target some individuals in there? Or
he destroyed everything.
oh, including Nkrumah.
Well, destroy everything.
So I'm coming. The minister says the statue has got nothing to do with the fact that MPP lost the region. That's one. Two, even Camp Monday, the president is going there to inaugurate two other projects.
Okay. Because, but you see, this is the same minister who says he doesn't know what hit them. This is the same minister who is attributing the defeat to Juju.
Yeah.
How did he
Let me
come by
tell
the
you.
conclusion that the statue didn't play a role?
This
How?
is a minister and a member of parliament who is out of touch.
Yeah.
Completely out of touch. Because if he were not out of touch, he would not be telling us that he was shocked at the defeat.
Yeah.
And that he thinks that the people, he thinks perhaps it was black magic. He was out of touch. He was living in his own bubble and could not pick the signs and signals on the ground.
But he won a seat, only 2 seats in the region. He holds one of them.
He is a Western regional minister.
Okay.
I'm not talking about his constituency alone. You understand?
Yeah.
He failed
So-
to deliver the region.
But he says Musa Donka is a joke.
Oh,
Oh, that one that you can say.
clearly, I mean, his utterances and Musa's work, we know who's a joke here. So it's fine.
So one is based on data, another one is based on Juju.
Okay.
And
So-
the Juju you and I, we can't authenticate
Absolutely.
it's
You guys
authentic.
are mean.
Anyway, still with the daily.
Our middle names are Yami.
Yeah, Yamin is very
And
mean.
you are
But Yamin
confiscating
too is
fertilizers.
just. But Yamin, is it Intel or what? How is he able to always somehow be okay fertilizer?
Yeah.
Somehow be ballot
Ballot
paper.
papers.
Like his Intel is always on point. How?
Yeah. I should go to National Security.
Hey, still with the Daily Guide newspaper. We won all 12 disputed seats.
Oh, Charlie.
Resume collation. Charlie, yesterday you saw
What's
Peter
that?
McMahon.
Hey, look, you guys, when they say no condition is permanent, the politician is your poster boy, your poster girl. The politician is your poster boy or poster girl when they say that no condition is permanent. Months prior,
Yeah.
you saw the pomposity, the arrogance on the side of the governing party whenever they were addressing the press.
He comes to power.
Look at them this time around.
He comes to power.
And and we all know governing parties always support the
Yes.
EC. Now the table seems to have flipped.
Yeah.
Now the governing party is urging the EC to do something. Let's wait and see.
Yeah. But yeah, of course, arrogance of power, yeah, we've dealt with it on countless occasions. What is shocking to me is opposition arrogance. You are in opposition and you are arrogant. Like seriously?
You always get a few members
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
And Charlie, you guys should brace yourselves. Anyway, you done?
Yeah. No, back page of the Daily Guide newspaper. I'm not good enough. Pep on City Wars. Also, Hearts coach won't